They raised it, by the way. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
A couple public service announcements here. We're racking up new viewers every day. People are messaging me that they're watching the show. They love the show. They love the diversity. They love the minority view segment. My good friend Stevie Baranka's out there watching the show. Dr. Jeff's got it on over at the hospital. Everybody's watching over there. So things keep moving in the right direction for Liquid Lunch. Don't forget, if you're watching Newsmax TV, coming up right after this, you got National Report with Bob Sellers and Allison Maloney. They're going to break it all down for you on what's happening in impeachment. Frankie joins me again. I think, Frank, you said there is some action going on down on the floor of the Senate.
I believe Trump attorney Jay Sekulow is summing up his argument and the argument of the Trump defense team. Let's have a listen.
It was so serious that it had to be done immediately. Let's hold on to the articles of impeachment for a month to see if the House could force the Senate to adopt rules that they wanted, which is not the way the Constitution is set up. But it was such a dire emergency. It was so critical for our nation's national interest that we could hold them for 33 days. Danger, danger, danger. That's politics. As I said, you're being called upon to remove the duly elected president of the United States. That's what these articles of impeachment call for. They never really answer the question of why they thought there was such a national emergency. Maybe they will during questions. I don't know. There was such a national emergency. They never did explain why it was that they waited. They certainly didn't wait to have the proceedings, as my colleagues have laid out. I mean, those proceedings moved in record time. I suspect that we've been here more than the House actually considered the actual articles of impeachment. Is that the way the Constitution is supposed to work? Is that the design of the Constitution? And then their question, of course, came up and yesterday on the whole situation with Burisma and the Bidens and that whole issue. And my colleagues went through that a great deal, and I'm not going to do that. But do we have are we in a situation, we used to call this, in free speech cases, like a free speech zone. You could have your free speech activities over here. You can't have them over there. Do we have like a Biden-free zone? I mean, was that what this was? You mention someone, or you're concerned about a company, and it's now off limits. You can impeach the President of the United States for asking a question. I think we significantly showed the question. I'm not going to go through a detail-by-detail analysis of the facts. But there are some that we just have to go through. You heard a lot of new facts yesterday in our presentation. Saturday, what we were pointing to is a very quick overview.
You could have your free speech activities.
All right, that's Jay Sekulow pounding it in to finish off the president's team. I know you hate this stuff, Frankie.
I do.
And there's other breaking news out there that's going on in Washington.
But this is, when I say I hate it, I can watch it, but I feel like it's so repetitive. I've heard all these arguments. I've given many of them myself. I feel I have a finite amount of time in my day. I don't want to waste it talking about this stuff when there are real problems in the world. Now, one of those real problems is the situation in the Middle East, where you have people in the West Bank and Gaza who want to kill people in Israel, and in some instances, vice versa. Now, President Trump today unveiled what I think is an incredibly promising plan for peace in the Middle East. Here's the president talking about it about an hour ago.
My vision presents a win-win opportunity for both sides, a realistic two-state solution that resolves the risk of Palestinian statehood to Israel's security.
So nobody gets everything. Everybody gets something. There's a lot of compromise involved here. There will be an independent Palestinian state. There will be a capital of East Jerusalem. And the Palestinians have to stop doing sort of terrorist activities. This strikes me as a pretty good deal for all involved. And I'm sorry that the Palestinians are dismissing it without even evaluating it on its own merits.
Yeah, I think they'll come to the table because they know our president means business now. I think this is an amazing move in the right direction for Trump's foreign policy team. While all these distractions, he's still moving forward, which I like seeing. But we're going to take a quick break right here. We're going to wrap up an amazing hour or two. I got a few last thoughts on Pam Bondi's performance, which Joe Scarborough and Mika thought it was okay to mock and laugh at. And Frank's got to correct a bunch of my mistakes. I'm also getting a phone call now from Beverly Hills. I don't know who would call me right now, but they know I'm on here. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more Liquid Lunch right after this.